more sickness that did not take you away. Yeah, and God healed you. Come in June. Yeah, June, you are there. July, what happened in July? August, yeah, when you did your trimester exams, and maybe the results were not very good. You are expecting A's in some units, and you didn't get that A. You got a D minus instead, and you got so discouraged. But again, God encouraged you. Come in September, and you are supposed to register for the trimester, and you didn't have the finances, and you didn't know how you are going to land or how you are going to register. But finally you registered, and you studied, and that is why you are here today, because you registered in September. Come in October, where our institution and our graduation, how we prepared for that graduation, and how God saw us through, and all that and all that. Come November, last month, you cannot forget actually what happened last month in your life. You can't forget. And now we are here in December. December, now we can open our eyes. Yeah, that's been a long journey. I just decided to start it in 2023. Because if we started like some of us when we were born, we would have so many days here. We will not require just 2 hours or 1 hour. We will just sleep here looking at what God has done. And that is why the choice of the song was very appropriate, counting our blessings. So I want to introduce my theme today. Throughout the year, we've been looking at embracing God's wisdom. And my sub-theme today is embracing God's wisdom with patience. Yeah. Embracing God's wisdom with what? Patience. Patience, can also say that the other name of patience is what? Perseverance. And what? Endurance. Perseverance or endurance. And these are the things, or rather, perseverance is one of the fundamental characters in a human being. How many times do you feel like throwing hands and saying, this one, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Things have become too tough. But at the end of the day, you find yourself going back. May I give an example? When we were young, we used to light fire. You see, sometimes firewood that is not well dry. And you are there, you are given some responsibility. Before I come in the evening, you are supposed to have cooked for the children. You are supposed to have put together in the jiko, and all that. And you have to light fire. You see, sometimes, firewood that is not properly what? Dry. And you go light fire. You light it and it cannot light. If you lack patience or perseverance, you would undo all the firewood the way you arranged them, and sometimes even pour water in that jiko. Yes. I'm working a match. And you just go and sit down and ask yourself, now, what have I done? Mama atakuja jioni. Na atauliza wapi chakula. And here you'll find that instead of githeri boiling, it is a jiko that is full of what? Water. And you recollect yourself. And start all over again. Sometimes even going outside now, you will just go outside and even get some dry soil and come and put it there. You remove all the one that was wet and all that and all that. You do a lot of work. But finally, the fire is going to light and you cook what you are meant to do what? To cook. Yes, that is called perseverance. I want us to ask ourselves 3 questions. Just 3 questions. Are there times when we have questioned your wisdom? Are there times when you have sat down to question your wisdom? Yeah? Because we are talking about embracing God's wisdom with patience. Is there a time when you have sat down to question your own wisdom? Yeah, many times. And you ask yourself, how did I react? Why did I respond to that person the way I responded? Why did I go to this and this place in the first place? How did I find myself there? That time you are questioning your wisdom. Was I wise? Huh? Was I wise? When I did that, when I carried Kenya and I was caught, or you are not even caught anyway, you just carried it. Are you wise? Or am I wise? You ask yourself, you question your own wisdom. Question your own wisdom. Are there times when we have questioned other people's wisdom? Anakuangalia tu anakuambia usioka. Ni akili tu. Mtu akikufanyia hivi anakuambia ufanye nini? Tumie ubongo. Questioning your wisdom. When you are dressed the way you are dressed. Ulijiangalia kwa kioo kweli? Did you look at yourself? When you talked the way you talked. Yona mtu anakufanyia. Use your wisdom. And at one time, my son, he was 5 years old, 5 or 4. He had just gone to nursery school. And one day he came back home and told me, Mommy, you know what? I want to change my name. I want to be baptized. And I asked him, why do you want to be baptized? Are you not baptized? He told me, no. I want to be named Kevin Karani. Haya. Kambuliza nao Kevin Karani. Hiyo umetoka wapi? And Mommy, next time there is baptism in the church, I'll tell Reverend to baptize me. And I'll be called Kevin Karani. And I thought the boy was joking. And the other time, my friend came home and I was explaining to her that, no, on Sunday there will be baptism. Reverend announced that on Sunday there will be baptism. No, and just brushed the boy off and I didn't think about it again. But when my friend went away, the boy came again and told me, Mommy, do you know, I told you, I haven't been telling so and so that there will be baptism on Sunday. So I will be baptized. And I'll be named Kelvin Karani. And I was asking, now what is so special with this Kelvin Karani? And then, now I went to do my research. I asked him, who is Kelvin Karani? He told me he's one of my friends in school. What about Kelvin Karani? Kelvin Karani, every time he answers questions in class, the teacher says very, very good. Yeah? Kelvin Karani, his book is full of what? Very, very good. This Kelvin Karani, even when we go out to play, Like today, mommy, Kevin Karan defeated me. Now you can see the kibarua. You can see what it took me to explain to him that it is not about the what? It is not about the name. It is not about the name. So he was trying to question our wisdom. Why didn't we name him? The name that we gave. Why baptize him? That baptism name that we baptized him. He was trying to question our wisdom. Are we wise? My third question is, are there times when we have questioned God's wisdom? Yeah? Think of the instances when we have questioned God's wisdom. And you ask God so many questions. Very hard questions. And it is good that God went hiding. Otherwise, tungekuwa tumemurarua. Because when we sit down and we start asking God very, very hard questions, like, where were you, God, when this and this happened? Ulikuwa wapi? Where were you when I got a D- in this paper? When I've been serving you in the church? When I've been doing this, when I've been doing the other? Where were you? Yeah, we can agree that there are many times that we have questioned God's wisdom. But I want to tell you today that God has mapped out our race that we all must run. He has mapped it out. You don't run somebody else's race. You can't. God has destined it for you. Whatever you go through in this life, it is not by mistake. There is no mistake. So you cannot question God, and you cannot question yourself. Because everything that we do has been properly planned. And for us to accomplish this race that has been put before us, then we must do it with a lot of patience. With a lot of patience. Because as God thought about you, God knew that if I do this to so and so, if I let this so and so go through this experience, then this person will become a better person and I'll be able to use this person in my kingdom. You can't give what you don't have. I keep on repeating this. You cannot give what you don't have. That is why even when we are getting employed, we are asked for experience. So God will take you through a certain experience so that he can use you in future. And that is why we have to be patient. And that is why in the book of James that we read, it says, behold, we count them happy, those who endure. Because God is compassionate and very, very merciful. So at the end of it all, when you endure, you become happy. As Christians, we have to be patient with God's plan. That prayer that you made on fast, midnight, when you ushered in the new year, how many of what you told God, how many prayers have been answered? Look at it. And even that prayer that has not been answered, what do you have to do about it? Is there anything you can do? No. You're only maybe waiting for another fast of 2024 so that you can remind God, please God, remember, I asked you to give me this and this. I asked you to do this and this for me. But I've waited patiently. And I'm trusting upon you that this year you are going to do it. So, as Christians, we live on faith. That is why in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11 says, I know that the plans that I have for you, the plans for welfare and not destruction, to give you a future and a hope. In the verse that we learned, Isaiah 60, verse 22b, it says very clearly that when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen quickly. Not anyone else. I, the Lord, will make it happen quickly. Quickly. The Bible said, swiftly. You've been praying for something. But you have to be patient until when God answers that prayer. Because when he happens to answer that prayer, he will do it quickly, very swiftly. And that is why patience is required. That is why we have to embrace God's wisdom with a lot of patience. We sometimes question God and his wisdom about the races that we are learning. That we say that it is destined for each and every one of us. And you look at people around you, like my son was looking at Kelvin Karan. Seeing Kelvin Karan getting very good, whatever remarks from the teacher. When Kelvin Karan goes out to play, Kelvin Karan is shining there, defeating all the other boys. And my son was like, no, I also want to be Kelvin Karan. Yeah? Have you ever looked at your friend and wondered, how do these people make it? Why do they have all this? Huh? You heard of somebody saying, hey, my whatever, that time I have my account, and that time you are living on Furisa. Huh? Mechukua mshwari, makachukua whatever, all the M's in this world. Huh? But there's someone here who is talking about billions. Yeah. Several accounts. Yeah. Ask yourself, why am I poor? And the others are rich. Why am I sleeping hungry? Well, there are people with plenty, even to give to the dogs. Eh? The race that you are learning is your own race. And I want to tell the young people, when you see people on this side, whatever they have, they did not make it in a day. Yeah? So when you get employment, don't think that you are going to do any miracle, that you start driving V8. Yeah? You must start what? Small. It will not happen until God says that it should what? Happen. Yeah, if God says that it will happen overnight, then it can happen. But follow your path. Run your own race. We are having blood pressure, blood salt, blood sugar, blood everything, because we are not running our own races. We run the race of other people. And at night you cannot sleep. You cannot get sleep because you are not running your own race. According to God's wisdom and plans, suffering and disdained as God's training programs. Yeah, they are programs. And we must finish each of the program that God has disdained for you. Because these programs are supposed to make you strong to undertake even more difficult challenges. God deals and shapes our character, and therefore His will and timing is the best. Simply because He is the one who has got our plans, then His timing is the best. Whether you question yourself, whether you question God, His timing is the best. So, all what we have to do is we have to be patient. In Luke chapter 13, verse 6 to 9, the story of the fig tree, we realize that the gardener was very patient, very, very patient, waiting for 3 good years. Anaenda anakuta nothing, anarudi. Anaenda anakuta nothing, anarudi. And then he had to make a decision. He said, no, this tree has to be cut down. You have to clear everything. You cannot keep here taking the soil and everything else when it is not producing anything. What does that tell us? We should be patient doing what we do. Very patient. I love the farmers. I'm a farmer myself. And one time I went and planted wheat. Yeah. I spent quite a lot of money. Wheat is highly mechanized. Yeah, highly mechanized. Plowing, nini, fertilizer, kila kitu. But the rains failed. The wheat never passed apple. They never even sprouted. And the next thing what I did is that the sheep, some sheep sienda huko kakule. But the next time I was there, yeah, the next season I was there, and this is what happens to each and every farmer, even those who come from very dry areas. They will still do it again and again and again. So you should be patient like that farmer. So when we talk about patience, we know that patience pays. And actually the next season that I planted wheat, I harvested a lot. I harvested and I felt that, well, sasa hapa hata imelipa ile ingine. The last season. What if I didn't plant? What would have happened? So we are saying that as we are patiently waiting for God to fulfill His plans, to fulfill His will on us, we should be doing something. Do not just keep quiet there and say, I'm waiting for God. To do what? I'm waiting for God. The preacher saying that we wait for God. No, I've not said you wait for God. I'm saying you wait for God doing what you are supposed to be doing. If you are a student, you wait for God to give you a good grade when you are working hard. Actually, not even hard, when you are working smart. Simply because you cannot wait for God doing nothing. You can never be blessed on an empty heart. Yeah? When we look at the situation today, I've seen that the young people, all what we have accomplished, especially those of us who are old, they never came overnight. Patiently waiting. You wait. And when we look at what is happening today, we find that young people wanataka ile life wanaita ya microwave lives that is remotely controlled. Yeah? They want things to happen here and here, where they are not even taking no for an answer. That is why if your girlfriend tells you that I have found someone else, cannot take a no. Eh? When your boyfriend says that I've found someone else, you cannot take that answer. Get used to getting no's. And people telling you, what are you saying? I'm not there. Hapo nilitoka samani. Get a shock, 5 minutes, wake up, and go look for someone else. And the next day, unamintroduce. This is my, unamtumia card. Namwambia, I'm inviting you for my wedding. Sa maneno ya kuji. Huh? One time we attended a burial of a teacher who was doing very well. A teacher who was very wealthy. And they just had a controversy with the husband. And they didn't decide to take her life away. She went and kakunywa dawa. Kambia see husband that you come, I want us to talk about something. That time she has prepared a concoction there. And the husband was very obedient, and he went, only to find the wife dead and cold. During the burial, most of us who were there, one lady commented, if they can allow me to open this coffin, need some chapa. Huh? I can beat her the bitter hand. Doesn't matter whether she's dead. That time when people look at that home, and simply because of a simple conflict, one decides to take the life away. Yes. We say that God is focusing on shaping our character to be like Him. Hence, we should submit to His will and to His plans. That is why we should not be too hard on ourselves. I think that. Even when we find that things are not going our way, we should have the ability of bouncing back with new plans, with new prayers, and with new friends, and with new prayer partners, and with new everything. The principle of perseverance is that of bouncing back. And for us to do this, we have to differentiate between two voices. The voice of God and the voice of Satan. The voice of Satan is that voice that will tell you, huh? Do you think you can make it? What are you doing? The voice of Satan is that voice full of impossibilities. Full of impossibilities. I've been given that office. Wewe. Taweza. The voice of Satan will come either through other people questioning your wisdom, or through yourself listening to that voice of Satan asking you, who? This exam, do you think you are going to pass? Prepare more Kenya. Ni utapita, uwezi. Month 130. And you are an historian. You're not. And then you spend the whole day there preparing a more Kenya. And nashikwa tu. Estande nilishika mmoja. And we have to struggle. Huh? The voice of Satan. The voice of Satan is that voice that is going to tell you that this interview, you are not going to pass. Those who pass interviews are those people who are bribed. And even when you go to the interview, even before you go there, you are already defeated. And let me tell you of a story before I end. Of a kijana who went for an interview, wanted to be employed as a driver. And he was a standard 8 leaver. And this class 8 met the Form 4s who have got very high grades, and the boy was kind of, no, tunakuja na our interview. And then they went in, one by one. And this boy was asked, yes, our school is very small. What do you think? What plans do you have? Well, maybe you are not driving. Since drivers, especially in high school, they are not very busy. Then maybe they will just do the job over the weekend. And this boy said, with me, the school can buy a bicycle. And I can just be a messenger. When you want cabbages, I can go to the market and bring cabbages. If you want to send a letter from one end to the other, I can just be using the bicycle. I can also do some gardening. I can plant some vegetables for the school. And I can also do what? Plant some sukuma wiki. I can rear some chicken when I'm not behind the wheel driving. And the boy got a job. Yeah. The Form 4s were left and got a job because of that. Because he showed the ability. He was not defeated before he went for the interview. Lessons that we have to learn. We need to conquer the voice of Satan by inviting the Holy Spirit of God to guide us and to lead us. We need to know that God does not work with perfect people, but God molds them according to his specifications that are fit for the purpose. That is why in the Bible, we find Moses giving stories, giving excuses. Oh, you don't call me a master mala. I stammer a lot. Here, Jeremiah says, oh, I'm too young. God, what do you want with me? I'm too young. But God works with those who are not perfect, so that he can perfect them to his specifications to serve his own purpose. So even as we close the year, even all the prayers that you made, even if they were not answered, you are still on God's plans. You are still on God's purpose. And that is why, even come to 2024, you should even be able to service more. And with that, I want to wish everybody a happy Christmas and happy what? New Year, because we're coming to the end of the year. And may God bless you so much. I want to thank the Chaplaincy Department for giving me the opportunity throughout the year to talk about God's grace. Thank you. And in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Celebrate the woman of God. Let us be upstanding, please. Oh, sorry. Just a minute. Yes, we celebrate the woman of God with a huge clap as we remain standing. I think I'll ask you to sit for a minute. And I will ask students from the School of Education who are here to stand. You are almost making me shy to ask the next one. School, you may sit. Let's clap for them. Students from the School of Medicine. Thank you. Students from Science and Technology. Okay, let's clap for the two of them. Which school have I not called? Huh? Yeah, School of Business. Tuwapigia wawili makofi. We are going for Christmas. And I want to commission you. Now, commissioning means being sent forth to go do something and come back with a report. I want to request you, those of you who are here, to commit, each one of you, to bring at least 5 new students. Do you know those who have done Form 4? Munawajua? Do you know some who are looking for universities to go? Diploma, certificate, degree, master's, PhD, in whichever field that is done in KEM. Do you know all the programs we do? Make sure you go to marketing, get a brochure of all the current programs that we are doing, and commit to bring 2-3 more people, isn't it? Do you love KEMU? Do you love this main campus? Have you seen any other university with a beautiful ground like this one? Me, I haven't seen. And by the way, I have studied even in the US. Lakini sikuona. Niliona simiti tu. And the floors going up and horizontal. But there was nowhere to bask in the sun. This is a beautiful, beautiful campus. Education, I have seen you are 90-something% present. So I am expecting, if you go talk to your colleagues who did not come to the chapel, and you talk to those others, you will be able to talk to your friends to join us. Sawa sawa? My colleagues, I'll not ask us to stand, but I also want to commission us. That let each one of us think about bringing at least Dr. Mwamisi. At least that is the minimum that we can do. May the Lord bless you and shine his face upon you and give you favor and give you grace, even as you go to celebrate your Christmas and the New Year. And may we receive you New Year 2024 with your friends. Preacher, God bless you so much. Thank you very much. Now, the end of the service.
Can celebrate our DVC. You can be upstanding as we finish. The leader of the service has been Auma Levina from the School of Education, a 4th-year student. I'm so glad this morning and I thank God. You know, may the grace, and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you and success to them during the exams.